More than 100 people are killed every day on average in Gaza. The death of each one, an unbearable tragedy for those they leave behind. Like these relatives of the dead in an Israeli airstrike over the weekend. Israel's bombing of Gaza continues to be relentless, even as its diplomats talk peace. Ending the war is this man's mission. America's top diplomat, Antony Blinken, on his 9th visit to Israel since the conflict began, arriving with a ceasefire plan, warning Israelis time is running out to secure a deal.
It's the single best way not only to get the hostages home, to ease the suffering of people in Gaza, it's also the best way to make sure that conflict doesn't spread, that we don't see escalation, that we can actually diffuse some of the pressure points that we see throughout the region.
Antony Blinken is being told by his Israeli hosts on this trip that Hamas is dragging its heels.
At the bottom line of it, people have to understand it starts with the refusal of Hamas to move forward.
Or does it? Hamas says it's the fault of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for adding new demands at the last minute, in particular, keeping his military in Gaza at certain strategic points. Israel's military leadership has reportedly told its Prime Minister the American ceasefire deal poses no security risks and he should support it. And polls suggest that almost 2/3 of the Israeli public think he should do so as well. Amongst them, of course, the relatives of more than 100 hostages still being held in Gaza. Among them and their supporters here is the belief the Prime Minister is blocking a ceasefire deal securing their release to keep hardliners from walking out of his government.
Tell you the truth, that I expect nothing from this meeting because our Prime Minister is blocking the hostage deal. He doesn't want to make the hostage deal because if he will make the hostage deal, there will be no government and he will be out of office.
If Israel isn't serious, Hamas doesn't seem to be either. Last night, sending a suicide bomber to Tel Aviv. His device went off prematurely, killing only him, but a synagogue was believed to be his target. Diplomacy will continue, but for 40,000 dead Gazans and nearly all of what they call home, it is already too late. These UN pictures show the scale of the catastrophe. This is Gaza City, not a city anymore. The UN today said it would take 15 years just to clear Gaza's 40 million tons of rubble, let alone start rebuilding. And that can only begin if and when the war is brought to an end. Dominic Waghorn, Sky News, Jerusalem.